And Scott Payne is gonna take. I'm here with Zach Gomer, I should say, our district manager. Go for it, Scott.
Okay, I'll wait for the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Or the deck. Sec.
That's good. Oh, I like your puppy sweater, Brendan. I want that. Sweater.
No problem.
Ready? No? Yes?
Yep.
Yep. All yours.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the construction community liaison for the Water Streetscape Improvement Project. Our project runs along Water Street, from Whitehall Street all the way down to Maiden Lane. I'll take you through the scope of work. The project will consist of roadway reconstruction, including widened sidewalks, curbs, bump outs, and bus bowls. New public plazas will be installed, one at Whitehall Plaza and the second at Quincy Slip. There will be geometric realignment of Water Street. There will also be sewer work, full depth construction of select intersections along Water Street. We also will be installing streetlights and traffic signals, as well as catch basins and sewer manholes. Capital and interference joint bid utility, such as Con Ed utilities, ranging from gas, steam, and electric, and also Verizon ECS.
What's that? Yep. ECS.
ECS Empire City Subway.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're like a subsidiary of Verizon, so they do run. The project schedule. We began in May of 2021. Our new completion estimated date is April of 2027. The time elapsed so far is 1,788 days.
Can you move the slide, the second slide?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go through our current progress. Currently, we have 4 active locations. The first at Broad Street between Water and Front Street. Currently, the contractor is digging for Con Edison's electric layout. Our second location, the intersection of Water Street and Quincy Slip. We're installing Con Edison's gas main layout, which was just finished recently. And now this week we'll be placing temporary asphalt as well as backfilling. So that gas main is complete. And the third location, Water Street between Quincy Slip and Hanover. Con Edison's 4-inch gas main layout was also complete. And as well, this week we'll just be doing backfilling and placing temporary asphalt. Last but not least, Water Street between Gubernors Lane and Wall Street. About a month ago, we began excavating for Con Edison's electric layout at that location. And I'll take you through the work progress to show you some slides. Our first location, Broad Street between Water and Front Street. You can see in the first and the second slide, the contractor is working on excavating for the electric layout at that location. In the lower right-hand corner, I just added a site slide to give you better context of where it is. Next slide. The second location, intersection of Water and Quincy Slip. These 2 slides show the backfilling for the gas main at that location. And again, the right-hand lower corner shows you the site map for that location. Third, Water Street between Quincy Slip and Hanover Square. The first picture shows the contractor doing some backfilling work. And the second picture shows one of the labormen are working on installing a steel conduit. It's a common trench with Con Edison's electric layout and their gas layout. The fourth slide, last but not least, Water Street between Louisville Lane. And Wall Street, you can see the contractor here is also excavating for a new Con Edison electric layout. And that's the completion of the slideshow.
So, first of all, how, were you delayed at all by the snowstorm?
Yes, we were.
How long?
We were. I would say maybe about week or two, give or take.
That's all?
Yeah, well, there were a couple of snowstorms,
Right.
so maybe a month in total.
And how much now, the completion date is 2027.
April of 2020.
What was the original completion date?
October 2026.
And so, again, it was October 26th?
Right, oh, sorry, I think October 2029.
No, that's the original completion. Good evening, everyone. My name is Naif Qasim. I'm the resident engineer for this project. The original completion was March of 2021. We have two time extensions. The first one took us to the October of 25, and now the second time extension is end of April 2027.
And why are we extending it?
The
What's-
extension because of utility interference and the delays caused by mostly Con Edison and ECS. This area is.
How did I know it's Con Ed? It's always
I'm
Con
sorry?
Ed. I said it's always Con Ed.
Especially this area. I've worked with so many projects throughout the city. This area is very, very crowded. I guess
know.
it's so many utilities on the way, and there is no way we can finish the job without utilities being removed, relocate their lines and gas and electric.
And my understanding is there really aren't that many residents that are being affected by this, or am I wrong?
No, so we had a bit of water main work at the onset of the job, which only affected one of the buildings, and we worked with them to shut it down, which best met their needs. So we have some water main coming up in the future. Not right away soon, but that will affect some residents. But as far as it hasn't been any electrical outages or any gas service.
We haven't had any complaints, right?
So I try to keep on it with the community. People.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
No.
You're gonna try to get it completed before the completion date?
Yes.
I knew that's what you wanted. Thank you.
Also, I did want to mention, I have the new newsletter, and I'll leave copies for you.
Okay, great.
So this is our first quarter, and it's the 19th installment.
Okay, fantastic.
So I'll leave it on the table.
Thank you, Scott. See, we didn't treat you badly today.
Right, thank you.
Thank you guys.
So,
Have a good night.
maybe, you know what, you'll call us and you'll tell us if there's any change in anything. You don't have to come unless there's a change in something.
Okay, I will.
Okay?
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
if there's completion date, it's sooner, not
Okay.
later.
Even better, right?
Right. Or, if there's some major something going on,
Okay.
then, let us know and come on in. But other than that, we'll see you, like 4 months maybe.
Okay,
Okay.
great. That sounds good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Okay, thank you all.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you very much. Good night. Good night.
Two
Miss
questions. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't let you.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to say hi because I always feel so bad that you're sitting on the Zoom and we get you at the last minute. So, of course, today I'm not there and I'm missing you. So I just want to.
Scott, it's Mariama.
Hi,
Co-chair.
how are you?
Oh, I'm not even on camera. Good geez. I'm sorry.
Yeah, where are
You on the camera.
Where are you? Okay, and then Francis wants to say.
Two questions.
Sure.
Number one, what are we getting out of this? What's the big benefit after you do all of this wonderful work? what is this?
They'll be
Are we
pretty.
getting, is the community getting faster service? Are we getting hotter water or what? What?
Well, for one,
Okay.
go ahead, Naya.
Scott, okay. So thank you for this. This is a very good question, by the way. What we doing, you mean why we doing the job? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
Okay, so this job is safety wise. We are widening the sidewalks. We're installing much better pedestrian ramps, which is the handicapped ramps. Also, we're putting new street lights, new catch basins, new sidewalks. Also, we have two plazas on the area, which is first one Quintus Plaza, and the second is the Whitehall Plaza. We're gonna do a lot of landscape there. They're gonna look much beautiful than now. Also, we're doing this APS on the street lights where the blind people can push the button and they can. So we're like upgrading the system where it's good for the the handicapped and also for the blind people. We're also planting some trees, putting some kind of what they call silver cells, which is to protect the tree roots, traffic lights also. So all of these things, they're bring this is like a safetier corridor, water street corridor, where people can travel and be safer than now. So I guess that's what the benefits are. But
okay.
Second.
And
yeah,
part of that, you kind of touched on it, was in terms of while you're doing this work, how is it affecting the traffic flow in that area? Is it a lot of stuff being rerouted? Is it?
you mean at the time and during construction, we have to keep the traffic going. Yeah, so we have like MPT, which is the maintenance and protection of traffic. We have a lot of flaggers that direct traffic. We don't close the streets unless it's very small. It's a one way that we have no choice but to close it. And before we close any street, we have detour signs. For example, Pine Street, when Canadison was doing some work, we had to put up some signs. So in a way, it's the traffic is moving, and also we're not starting early at this time to give the people to time to move, and also rush hour between 7 and 8:30. So at this time, it's very minimum effect on traffic. Some areas they're very heavy that they do like a weekend work. For example, this Broad Street by Water Street, that's a very busy area. We do like a weekend work there.
What time?
Weekend like from 8 to 6 in the morning.
Is it a lot of banging and noise and stuff like that?
When you have construction, you're gonna see banging, but there is no like I said, when you have construction, you're gonna hear some banging, but it's not like we're just digging and with the machine. There is noise. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. There is noise, but so far we haven't heard any complaints about the noise. Scott is taking care of all the other issues that we have. We treat the complaints very courteously and seriously, and we have a few complaints that we took care of. We always deal with the complaints and we take care of it. But noise, there is noise. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, but so far we haven't
Thank you.
had any. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Did I miss
You're
any
welcome.
other questions?
Matthew.
Oh, Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, Pat. Thank you. To the Water Street project team, could you give me a sense of what was the original budget for this project when it started? I think you said it started in 2021, and what's the current projected or estimated budget?
Okay, so if I may, Scott, answer this. So the original budget was about $18.2 million. And I don't wanna, you guys to panic. Most of the additional money is a Con Edison money. Now it's about $100 million project, and not because it's city money. It's a utilities. Like I said, there is a lot of unknowns, and that the change order, what they call change orders, that mostly coming from utilities. A very small amount from the city. So I would say citywide wise, started with 18 million, maybe now it's 21 million, very minimum increase. But utilities, when Con Edison estimated the work here, they were very underestimated. So now it's about $100 million Con Edison, actually 80 million for Con Edison work. That's additional money.
And Pat, if I may ask a follow-up, is that additional 80 million being paid for by the public taxpayers, or is that being paid for by the utilities?
No, this is absolutely by the utilities, by Con Edison. Yeah.
Thank you so
Nothing-
much.
You are welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You are welcome.
So,
Sure.
any
Any
other
other question?
questions? Okay, so I jumped the gun. Now it's really time for you to go.
Okay. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Bye bye.
So we're gonna move right along. We're going back to the agenda. The first item on the agenda. Jesse, are you there?
Hello, yes.
Hi, how are you? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for having me tonight. My name is Jessie Lang. I'm the Housing and Transportation Policy Analyst in the Manhattan Borough President's Office. And I am going to be talking to you tonight about some sidewalk shed reforms that have been recently passed and what the status of those are. Is there anything else you wanted to say before I jump into the presentation?
Nope, they are just go right ahead. Oh,
Okay,
how long
great.
did you say? How long is your presentation?
Zach asked me to keep it to about 15 minutes. So I'm gonna try to do that, and then we can have time for questions at the end.
Cool.
But let me wait. Sorry, for some reason it's just not letting me control. Okay, let's try this. Can you all see this in full screen now?
No, you had it originally.
Okay, I'm just gonna close this. We are just gonna go with this then. Yeah, so thank you all so much for having me tonight. Excited to
No,
talk about.
we don't have you on. We don't have it on.
You don't.
No. You're sharing. I think you're sharing.
Oh, I'm
your-
sharing. Oh, that's so. Sorry, I
your
haven't.
web- Do you want me to run it and just, you can just prompt me? Oh, there you go.
Is this-
Yeah.
We got the, okay, great. Sorry about that. Haven't used WebEx to give a presentation in a little while, so thanks so much for your patience. Yeah, so I'm excited to be here tonight to talk about some updates to sidewalk shed reforms. Wanted to give just a little bit of background first. I'm sure that you all know that, you know, in your lived experience walking around New York City, that we have tons and tons of sidewalk sheds all over the place, and that they are, they reduce quality of life and get in people's way and you know, create all sorts of problems. But just so you can have some numbers to back that up, New York City currently has just over 8,000 active sidewalk sheds citywide. The average age is 565 days, so we're really approaching 2 years. The reason why I put an asterisk there is because it's really an underestimate, because of how DOB counts permit length. Sometimes like there will be a sidewalk shed that is up, goes down for a week, and then goes back up, and that counts as like a brand new permit, and the clock starts over again in terms of the age. But as I'm sure you all know, that does, the experience of a person seeing that sidewalk shed is one that is like a continuous shed. To talk about Manhattan Community District 1 a little bit, I checked today, you all currently have 212 permitted sheds in your district, which is certainly above average citywide by community district. It's the 13th highest by number of sheds, but you also have disproportionately larger sidewalk sheds than other districts. You have the 7th highest sidewalk shed footprint, which 62,000 feet, I think, is close to 12 miles of sheds on your sidewalks. So with that background, I did want to just run through some reforms that were passed last year and kind of where those are. There was a major package of bills that were passed in March 2025. I've been in the borough president's office for about 2.5 years, and I worked pretty closely on those bills when we were getting those passed. But the first of the bunch, you may have seen some press about it last year, is around new sidewalk shed designs that are aimed to be less intrusive. And also, I did just want to actually mention, because I'm running through this quickly, Zach does have the copy of these slides, and I think they're going to be shared out with you. Each of the laws, and then there's like hyperlinks throughout. So if you want to take a closer look at any of them, for example, I linked the report with all of the new sidewalk shed designs, and highly encourage you to look at those when you have more time. But essentially the idea is that they will look better, be less intrusive, and will be more appropriate for the streetscape than just like the ugly green sheds that we have all come to know and hate. So what's next for actually getting these implemented is that DOB needs to work with the companies that actually came out with the designs, so that sidewalk shed companies can start to offer them to building owners. And they also need to, yep. Sure, go ahead.
Are they based on the Canadian company? We saw them about, I don't know, remember 8 years ago or something. The Canadian company, is it based on their sheds?
This I think is a new effort. I don't recall what was going on with the Canadian company some time ago. Do you mean the one with like the white sheds that came out?
Right. With the great
yeah,
lighting,
so these,
you could cross in the middle of the street, you could change the lighting. Yeah. Less vertical structures, so you could actually walk across. Are they based on that kind of information?
I think if I recall, one of the sheds looks somewhat similar to that, but there's like 5 or 6 different designs that are really like very different. Like one of the designs, for example, is like cantilevered off the side of a building. Some are more like, yeah, they're all like really very different, and they have kind of different use cases depending on the scope of work and like how much time the work is expected to take. So that's like kind of the second part of the next steps, which is coming up with rulemaking for like when each of these designs will be appropriate and can be permitted. The other thing to note here is that these new designs do not replace the current design of sidewalk sheds. They are expected to be less expensive because they are less material and labor intensive, but it will be incumbent on sidewalk shed companies to actually start to offer the designs for us to start to see them and come onto our streetscape, and then hopefully like start to replace the current green sheds that we have.
Okay.
So the next law is around permit duration. Currently, sidewalk shed permits are issued for a year at a time. And this law will reduce that to just 3 months. And then once a building owner renews a permit for a second time, they are going to have to start to demonstrate to Department of Buildings that they are actually doing the facade repairs that the sidewalk shed is up for. Otherwise, there will be penalties. So we don't have many details about what the penalties will be or what enforcement will look like. That is also pending agency rulemaking. And for the ones that are pending agency rulemaking, I'll get into at the end what that process is going to look like. The next law is require DOB to conduct a study so that we can have new facade inspection timelines with the goal of lengthening inspection cycles. So right now, facade inspections on buildings that are 6 or more stories happen every 5 years. And essentially, most buildings tend to fail those inspections every time they come up because of how stringent they are and like the types of defects that they look for. So the study was released in December. The baseline cycle recommendation is to increase from 5 to 6 years, but there are other types of buildings, such as brand new buildings and other like lower risk buildings where the facade inspection timeline can be even longer. And it's like creating a situation where it's enabling building owners to have less burden on getting the inspections while also making sure that we are keeping the safety benefits of the inspection laws. So this one is also pending rulemaking. The study that was released did go into detail about what the recommendations are for all of the cycle lengths. I recommend checking it out. It is 120 pages long. I have not read the entire thing myself, but from what I have read, there's a lot of good stuff in there. It also gets into like allowing things like drone inspections and other things to speed up the process.
Right.
The next law was a pretty straightforward one. This one really just doubles the required lighting underneath sidewalk sheds. You might know that if you are walking under sheds, especially after dark, they can be really, really dark, sometimes unsafe feeling. So this law is already in effect. It took effect January 12th. And the enforcement mechanism really is, I think DOB is starting to enforce a little bit, but this is also something that you can report sheds that are not in compliance to 311, and I'll get into at the very end how to do that. I think this is the last of the new reforms, is an additional penalty for that is really just to incentivize building owners to have a work plan and actually be doing timely work, and that they then will have to demonstrate that to the Department of Buildings within certain timeframes in order to avoid any penalties.
Right.
So that is the package, but I did just want to mention a couple of newer bills or newer laws that happened that like went into effect towards the end of last year. And one that I was actually curious about. So Intro 796, this passed City Council in December, and it was enacted in January. And it's a notification requirement that the Department of Buildings needs to notify council members and community boards monthly of any new sidewalk shed permits. So I was actually curious if this came to Community Board 1 in February. There were 10 new permits issued in January, so it should have, but I'm actually not really sure where this is in implementation, or if DOB is adhering to the new law, or if they're still like trying to get their processes sorted out. I don't know if anyone has an immediate answer to that, or if you want to follow up with me after.
Exactly.
As far as I know, we have not received these notifications.
And there are 10 new sheds.
Yes, there are 10 new permits. So I would say, I think I would personally, you can proceed how you want. I would personally be inclined to like give them a little bit of grace for this month. There's a lot going on in city government right now. But I think if you don't get this notification in March, we would be very interested to know that, because it's something that we would certainly want to follow up with DOB on to clarify what the process is here and when you can start expecting that.
Thank you.
Sure. And then the other piece of legislation is a state law that was passed last year. One really major issue that makes it really challenging for building owners to sometimes do the work required to get sidewalk sheds down involves accessing neighboring properties, and this is introducing a new out of court process where building owners can apply directly through the state to get that for a permit to get that access to the neighboring properties. I haven't heard of any cases that have gone through this application process yet. I think it's still pretty new in the implementation stage, but it is promising. I think it's going to impact really like a relatively small number of properties and sidewalk sheds overall, but are some of the sidewalk sheds that have been up for like 5-10 plus years in the city, so are really having like a disproportionate impact on our streetscape. So just to round this out, so this was meant to be an informational presentation. Our office and me are not asking Community Board 1 to necessarily take any action at this time, but I did want to let you know how you can get involved and what the next steps are. So we had heard last year that DOB was looking to release the proposed rules for the different bills where I had indicated that the rulemaking was pending. So they had said that would happen early this year. I guess we are still in early 2026. I did ask them for an update on the timeline, and I'm waiting for them to get back to me on that. But this is something to look out for, and might be something that Community Board 1 might be interested in weighing in on, or at least sharing information about once the proposed rules are published. And I will let you know when I hear back from DOB if they have any updates on the timeline there. And then the other thing is that I don't know if any of you ever have reported sidewalk sheds that look unsafe or are unpermitted, but I did include the link to the correct 311 page, or you can just call 311 or text them if you are seeing sidewalk sheds that don't have the permit displayed on the shed, or like are, clearly not a safe situation. So like leaning over, not properly secured into the grounds, things like that. DOB does respond and do an inspection really quickly when that happens. They also do get a lot of 311 reports for sidewalk sheds that have just been up for a long time and that people don't like. Unfortunately, they currently can't do much about those, but the laws that are being enacted or being implemented this year will go a long way for those issues. But I can say that I have personally seen and reported sidewalk sheds. There was one that like was barely secured into the ground and had like a rotten wood base. And I was able to report it to 311, and DOB came and inspected it, and they were like, yes, this is indeed unsafe. And the sidewalk shed actually was removed within a few days. So that was a win for me on the Upper West Side, not in your district, but it is worth it to report when you see those types of safety issues because they take it seriously.
Are you ready to take questions? Or, sorry.
Yep.
Mitch?
So I don't know if
See
this
you again.
was going through the thing about the American Stock Exchange building, and on page 2, you referenced the sidewalk shed has been up since 2018 and it constitutes personal harm to public welfare, blah, 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 blah,
They're
blah.
here.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
If you could just ask her about if she's familiar with what you guys have coming up on the American Stock Exchange building, where the sidewalk shed has been up since 2018 and constitutes a persistent harm to the public welfare, blah, 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 blah,
Okay.
blah, blah.
So they're up next, and we'll talk to them about it.
Well, you're right, but I'm talking about.
Jesse, are you aware of what's going on?
It seems that she should be made aware of it if she's not already aware of it.
Yeah, I'm aware that there's been a long-standing shed there, and I am planning on sticking around for that next presentation. And I think that that'll be the opportunity for us to learn more and hear from the building owner. And I think if there, after that presentation, if there is any way that you feel me or our office should get involved, Zach has my contact information, and you all can feel free to reach out.
If something presents a danger, then that's kind of expedites things on your end, so I just wanted to bring that up.
But you need to hear all of the story before.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
Yes, one question. Is there flexibility on the new design color for the shed, or just green or white?
Some of them are like kind of a white, silvery. They're like more neutral colors there than the green. Yeah, I would recommend checking them out once you get the presentation. But I don't recall any of them being.
You know what I like? I
dark.
like that you said, if this is indeed accurate, you said that there are different structures for different lengths of time.
Yes,
And I like that they're not one size fits all. So if
exactly.
they're only going to be doing work for a short period of time, there should be a very easily constructed and disassemblable, that's not a word, but shed. That's great. That's great.
Yes.
Other.
Ask, share pictures. We're gonna, later on, yeah. Zach's gonna share some of the proposed design.
Oh, okay. Mhm. Yeah, so some of them have like this like kind of angled up look, or have the like kind of clear like vertical wall rather than like that heavy green, so you can kind of see through to the building. A lot of them are also like taller than the current sidewalk shed, so you're not like walking under this like really low structure. It's and that allows more light to come in. And then this is actually the one that I like the most personally, and that I can see a lot of use cases potentially in Lower Manhattan because it's meant for like a very narrow sidewalk, is where it's really just like cantilevered off the building.
Is that it?
Yep.
It almost looks like a storefront.
I just want to.
I know, it's like you can hardly. I was in Europe in September, and I saw a lot of sidewalk sheds that had that kind of design.
Any other questions? Any questions online? And Jesse, you're gonna stick around, right? I'd like to move to if you're done.
Yep.
So these proposed designs are buildings required to use these new designs?
They aren't. So this is where the rulemaking process is going to come in. It's really intended to give buildings more options. Some of these designs, like, there might be a situation in which a building will have now, instead of just the one green sidewalk shed to install, they might have like 3 or 4 sidewalk sheds that they can choose from. it really depends on, I think, it's really incumbent on the sidewalk shed companies that actually, you know, the building owners are renting them from to start offering them. But we're gonna have to wait for the DOB rulemaking to see like in what circumstances and what building types each of the sheds is optional. But I think the idea, from what I understand, is to give building owners now like more of a menu of options to pick from rather than just the one standard design.
So I have a question, and Matthew, I see you, so let me just ask mine first. So now, maybe you know this answer, maybe you don't. What's gonna happen with all the sheds that are up now, that have been up forever?
Yeah.
Are you going to have them taken, are they gonna start to have to adhere to, you know, the rule that if within 3 months they haven't done anything? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So the rules, this law, the law about the timeframes and like that kind of enforcement, that will apply retroactively to sidewalk sheds that are already up. It's that I think the details of how exactly it will apply to those existing sheds, we're gonna see more details once the proposed rules are released. Like for there, it might kind of play out in a couple of different ways that I can envision. But yes, nobody is going to be immune from these new rules, and like they, you know, they will start to have to comply and show that they are making progress on those repairs.
Thank you, Jesse. Matthew has a question for you.
Yes, ma'am. Jumping back. This all sounds wonderful, but I'm wondering about the incentive structure. Specifically, if I'm a building owner, are the options that you've put out with this project more expensive, less expensive, or about the same versus the status quo?
Yeah, we don't have pricing yet, because no company has started to offer them. But the hope is that they will be less expensive because many of the designs are less material and labor intensive.
Okay, great. That will probably decide, you know, the extent to which this gets implemented.
Yeah.
So that sounds terrific. Thank you.
Totally agree.
All right, so Jesse, thank you. You're gonna stick around, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. We're gonna move on.
Thank you.
So, I'd like to invite you, if you want to pull a chair up to the end of the table, you have to speak so that the owls hear you.
Yes.
And catch you. And so if you would introduce yourselves, and you know, you're aware already that representatives from Trinity Church are here and representatives from DDC are here, and they have things to discuss that relate to your building. So let's have you introduce yourself. You have a presentation?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Hi, so.
How long is it gonna take?
Not long, but I think it's all important.
We love it.
Especially with last meeting's resolution. My name is Alfredo Onorati. I work for the owner's rep firm for the owner of 23 Greenwich Street. We're a local project management firm. I'm joined here by Anthony Danito.
Anthony Danito from Gardner and Theobald. And we also have Blake Klanovich on the line, who represents ownership.
I'm sorry, what's his first name?
Blake.
Has he been moved over?
No.
Could you move Blake over, please? Anyone else to move over? Nope. Okay. So take it away.
You might need to give me a second while I move over Blake. Okay. Okay. There you go.
So we just wanted to go through some important points, status of the protections, both street frontages. The building is on Trinity, but it's also on Greenwich Street as well. We also our recent meetings with the Department of Buildings and our current communication with not only the Department of Buildings, but the local precinct as well. Also discuss what we plan to do next is now that the spring is coming and the sod work is more doable. What our plan is with current investigations required by the city and the plan to mobilize for the full facade project, and also discuss the points from the last meeting's resolution, and also our communication with landmarks and how our project and the DDC project will work together.
There you go.
So right now, there's on Greenwich Street, there's a lane closure which covers most of the frontage on Greenwich. There were sidewalk sheds put in front of Trinity Place, Trinity Church's building at 76 Trinity and in front of 125 Greenwich in the late summer, early fall of 2025. Right now, also on Trinity Place, there's a lane closure strictly in the street and a sidewalk shed that's been there that the current owners of 123 Greenwich inherited from when they had purchased the building. And the sheds also were modified with the help of DDC communicating with that sidewalk shed contractor in late summer, early fall of 2025 as well. And those at this point will remain during the course of the project. We'll work with the safety, DOB safety unit to see as more of the work gets done on the facade, if we can try and remove those sheds. And also we know from communicating with Trinity Church at 76 Trinity that they have put protection on their 8th floor and 5th floor terrace, not only sheds to protect, but also flat protection and made it a controlled access zone as well. So right now, in terms of pedestrian protection, all the streets and, you know, any area around the building is deemed safe. And we had notified the Department of Building from the previous meeting we had in November of 2025 with them. Once all our protections were up, that they had come out and done an inspection or walkthrough, which we had just done this past Friday with them. Specifically
I'm sorry, did the walkthrough with DOB?
We did a walkthrough with the existing buildings compliance inspector, the chief inspector on Friday. He was present with another inspector. They took some pictures of our protection. We haven't gotten the report back yet, but they identified some immediate things of loose debris that they wanted us to take care of, and we had taken care of.
On the exterior.
On the exterior, and we had done that today, actually, and we communicated that back to them.
Have you communicated with Trinity?
We had not communicated with Trinity yet.
So you're hearing it hot off the presses? Okay.
But they're aware of the poor condition of the south side of the facade, and it's why there's a vacate order that DOB had put out, and also why they have a controlled access zone, which is essentially a closed area of their terraces that protects their folks from accessing that in their building. So they know the critical condition of that facade. We had actually just met with 76 Trinity this past Friday to discuss accessing their terrace for our inspections and also to do some parapet demo. They know that, and for our project schedule, that area is a priority for us, and we plan on doing the south side of our building first to try and open up that area. DOB will. So right now, we're finalizing those license and access agreements with Trinity Church. We had a meeting with most of their folks and both engineers from our side and Trinity Church's side this past Friday to discuss some minor business terms, but generally it was a positive meeting. And we see this license agreement hopefully getting executed in a few days or weeks, depending on how quickly the final changes can be made. Some of the activities that have been completed on site and are upcoming. Our facade engineer had submitted a FIS report, and it was filed at the end of November 2025.
What's a FIS?
FIS report is a facade inspection
Site.
report.
Okay.
Basically, it's required as a part of that you must submit. Just that basically gives you a current status to the Department of Buildings of what a registered facade engineer says it is, identifies it as safe, unsafe, and all the.
So is yours safe or unsafe?
No, the building is unsafe.
Unsafe.
That's why the sidewalk sheds up, and back to the previous presentation, every building is required to provide these reports. Based on the outcome of the report, that requires somebody to put up protection from the building.
What's drop scaffold?
Drop scaffold, so instead of the pipe scaffolding that you would see that would line up the entire frontage of a building, drop scaffold is a rig that can be tied to the building and can drop over the side of the building. So it's just a different way to access.
Blank expression. Just explain.
Yeah,
Like a
so
drawbridge or something?
Lower, higher, lower,
it can hide, it'll hang over the side and it can be used to go up and down.
up and down, okay.
Elevation, rather than having the full building.
Right,
Have scaffold all across it.
Right.
So
Okay.
we plan on using that for most of the work.
Okay.
most of
And
those.
you'll tell us later what the work entails, okay?
So those drawings are required to be submitted to Cranes and Derricks, another unit within DOB. Those were submitted in the beginning of February, and speaking with the facade contractor, those were actually approved today, which is a big part of what, we'll use that not only to get our work done, but we'll use that to do the hands-on inspection that DOB is requiring us to perform. So instead of creating a scope of work based on just looking at it from the street, we're using binoculars, and most scope of work is done. We actually have to get up onto the facade and look at some probe work. That was
Both sides,
all.
Trinity and all sides, okay. Because once the north side is over the school,
Right, but there's there's really no frontage on that side. It's just.
are they flush? Is that, okay.
Yes. So visual inspections and multiple site walkthroughs have occurred prior to this hands-on inspection. We've been doing this from December to January, essentially just doing our best to get ready for this inspection, this hands-on inspection, because the hope is that once we get the hands-on inspection, we can mobilize very quickly to actually start the work. So the end of February, beginning of March is when we plan on starting that hands-on inspection. There is some prep work that needs to be done. We'll have the facade contractor mobilize next week, but there's about a week and a half, 2 weeks of actually setting all the rigs up that it takes, bringing the materials up and down to actually get set up.
So I normally don't do it. I normally let you finish the presentation. I'm gonna interrupt.
Okay.
So now I'm representing the neighborhood because I live on Cedar Street. You know Cedar Street,
Yes.
2 blocks away. How much noise are you gonna make?
So during the inspection,
No,
there will be
setting up.
not really none of that.
Recording in progress. Exactly how.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hit silent.
Unveiled a devastating sanitation plan that would have wiped out 10 blocks of our neighborhood.
Okay,
Maybe some drilling.
what time are you gonna start work?
We probably wouldn't start until 8 o'clock.
Probably 8 AM. Okay. And I always tell everyone when they're starting, all of the developers when they're starting, that before 8 AM, because it's a very tight community in terms of residents all over.
Yes.
Please tell your contractors, scaffolding guys, whoever's doing whatever they're doing, that yelling before 8 constitutes noise, okay? That's included, and I am known to, in my pajamas, go out and yell at people. So they may see me.
We'll tell them.
Okay, please do. All right, so
But during the facade work will be noisy. They will be using chipping guns and.
you said it will be noisy?
It will be.
During the day, we understand. I mean, I've lived there 50 years. I lived through 9/11 when I wanted to kill people because of all the noise that they were making. So we understand there's noise during the day, but before 8, and when are you finishing 4?
Right.
Yeah, after 4, people go crazy and they will be calling.
The benefit we have to focus and get the facade project is that there's no occupants in the building. It's just going to be neighbors.
Right.
And dealing with the outside and light hours.
But there are occupants on both sides,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
neighbors
And they have a full program that they're running,
Of course.
yes, including me. I'm one of the seniors in the senior program.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's really our focus is to make sure that we're being conscious of the neighbors as we do the work.
Great.
So, the end of this month, beginning of March, we'll start the inspection. What will happen first is probably on the Greenwich, the building is like a podium. It goes from Greenwich to Trinity, but then it goes up onto a tower on the 7th floor. So since we have the lane closure on Greenwich, we're gonna use a boom, which is just a different piece of equipment that allows us to get started to start looking at that facade. And so you'll see that activity happening in the beginning of March. The current project team engages again, so Gardner Diebold is the local rep, so, and then we have Socotec, who, if anyone previously worked with them, they used to be Vidaris. They're a well-known facade restoration contractor in New York. We've done.
And because it is landmarked, you have certain things you have to do.
Correct. And we're using Preserve gonna be our contractor. They're very familiar with doing facade restoration, and we've done projects with them, successful projects with them in the past to to make sure that we uphold the integrity of.
Great.
So that investigation phase will take most of March. That's when the drawings will be developed in tandem as we do the investigation. And the facade repair scope and drawing development will continue through April as well. And at that time is when we, in the beginning, the middle to the end of March is when we plan on getting our documents to start submitting it to the required agencies. Facade unit at DOB, landmarks, anyone, any agency that has jurisdiction to perform this work. And then in the beginning of May, assuming permitting and approvals go well, which we've accounted for in our schedule, we plan to mobilize for the facade repair scope. The current expected timeline of the work is TBD, but again, since we're in the warm weather, we're really pressed to try.
This is only the facade work. That's the facade work on all four, kind of three sides, really.
On all sides.
We haven't talked about the interiors yet. Okay, now, I'm sorry, you done?
For this slide, yes.
I'd just like to add on this slide, so the date and the overall, everything on the project is really starts with this investigation phase. So now that we're granted our approval for the drop scaffoldings, the only thing that would be holding up that date, and that's a tentative date, is signing and the approval from Trinity Church with the access agreement. That's the one item, so our schedule can move.
And they'll chime in a minute. The next, you have how many more slides?
Three more, four more. Again, we wanted to hit upon each point in the resolution, just again, being the first time that we're present in front of the community board, there was sort of a lot to go through, so we'll keep the cadence up.
Well, you know what? So then, it's new owners, right? They're new owners?
I think of the partnerships.
As of 2021.
2021. Are you here? Weren't there? Who did a walkthrough through the building with me? Anybody? Because I walked through the building. Did we go together? We didn't go together. We did go together? We didn't go together. So we did the walkthrough in the interior before 2020. I don't remember when it was. It's before COVID, right?
It was after.
It was after
2020.
So there's a lot of work still to be done inside, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's still the same owner as when we did the walkthrough. Right. Why is it taken, what happened to them?
So I think the person that you had walked with was Jared Stull. He was a representative from the proposed tenant at the time, who's also involved with the overall developments. He's no longer with the firm. The same ownership group is still involved in the project. Just like everybody knows, the capital markets over the past several years have delayed several projects, and they're in search of a tenant and determining what they're doing with the building.
So the British guys are out.
British guys.
At one point, there was gonna be a British firm that they were gonna have restaurants and a gym.
We're not fully.
Right? Yeah.
We're not fully up to speed about what the final use of the building is going to be.
Okay. But what happened to them for the last 4 years? Why haven't they been around? We haven't seen any work done?
Like I just mentioned, the project has been stalled.
But even though the project was stalled, they haven't taken care of their scaffolding. I mean, I'm not blaming you guys, but it's like they haven't been good neighbors. They haven't reached out to anybody, as far as I know, to let us know what was going on, that they were on hold, and they haven't taken care of the exterior of their building. We had homeless, I almost fell there like a year or two ago. We've had homeless people sleeping under there. I know you guys were not involved, but I'm just telling you. The lighting was terrible, the sidewalk is uneven, it's filthy. DDC had to put up the new scaffolding. So it's not DDC's responsibility to put up lighting going forward, we're hoping we're gonna have a better relationship all around.
Yes.
Neighbors, people who work, all right, because it's just been untenable. It's not, it's really not good. All right, if you want to go on to the next slide.
Of course. So to that point, now there's regular site presence on site, and we have routine cleaning of the sidewalk and also the interior.
Starting when?
it started about 2 weeks ago.
Because there was a homeless person sleeping under there. Did you know about that person?
So saw one.
Yeah, I mean, on the homeless people sleeping under the scaffolding, there's, as Alfredo's gonna get to, we have met with the first precinct, and requested them add the site to their midnight battalion route and notified them of all the issues. However, it's New York City. There's really not much you can do about a homeless person sleeping under.
You know that we have a shelter on Washington Street right around the corner, right? You know that? And you know how to outreach to that shelter? Do you know? Because if you don't know, we'll give you the
Yeah,
information.
If we can get
Okay.
the information.
And first, I'm on the council of the first precinct.
Okay, great.
I'm on First Precinct Council, so,
Okay.
you know, if you have problems, please come. We have our meetings the last Thursday of every month. So if you're having issues, and it's Captain Fisher now, right? Captain Fisher, he can't, you know, he can't help you, or Nick, Officer Nick, Aradano, who is the community liaison, he can be of a lot of help, he's great. So if you need him, please contact him. All right, sorry.
Yeah, and we plan to check back in with them. We had gone down just in the beginning of February to introduce ourselves, let us know, and, you know, let them know that we're the local rep.
Fantastic.
Contact information, so
Fantastic. Do we have your contact information?
we can share that.
Yeah, would you give it to Zach? Do you have their contact information?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. You have their contact information?
Which company? No, yes.
For Trinity, you have it? No, yes, no?
Yes, we
Okay,
have it.
everybody's got it, okay, all right. Keep going.
And there was an incident where we had trespassing from the school on 9100 Trinity Place, which
Yeah, kids, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
so at the end of the summer, we secured the building.
You mean they got inside?
Yes, they did get inside, which we don't want, which is very bad. So we had secured the building at the end of the summer, and as a part of this regular site presence, we'll do more routine checks of upstairs to make sure that the entryways.
Because if they get hurt, boy, you're gonna have a lawsuit.
Yes.
So as Alfredo mentioned, we did send a formal notice of trespass to the school to notify them about that. We're also getting complaints from 125 Greenwich as the students are, the building is locked. They physically broke through the lock and the plywood that we've.
Kids.
The client has been, they're breaking into, the only way to access and trespass onto this property is for them to break out of their building onto their roof and then hop over their roof onto our roof and then break into our building, so.
You were young boys once, you know.
I understand they're kids, but I think that there needs to be, and I would appreciate kind of this whole group's support in that with the school, some onus on the school to be able to
Right,
control
Right.
their students.
Right, right.
It shouldn't necessarily be everybody else in this room's
Right.
fault that their students are breaking out of their building, they're not properly securing their building, and then trespassing and causing damage to our and neighboring buildings.
Right. So you had a meeting with the principal of the school?
We hadn't yet. We know that it's 3 educational complexes and there's a few different principals.
Right.
We had worked on a project that for the new M464 school that opened up on Edgar. And I had asked that principal to help introduce us to the principal.
Because Edgar is elementary school.
Sure.
Right, but our two schools are high schools.
Right, but it was the only, at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
This was the only person that we knew to.
Come to
yeah.
us, come to us, we can be of help.
We
Youth and education.
Principal.
We have a whole youth and education committee. You can come to us and they'll get on it.
Yeah.
But so the principal's doing something about it and having,
We haven't, since we sent the notice, we haven't.
when did you send the
we haven't,
notice?
In the beginning of this month, right after the incident.
So let us know if you need us to do something.
Were there more slides?
Two more.
We have cameras up and we put more cameras up after this incident just to
Good.
make sure. So they're monitored 24/7 and we get notifications if there's any activity on site.
Good,
We've also, again, we put up more cameras after this.
okay, great.
We know that there's been a pests issue. We've onboarded a pest control company and
Little critters, yeah.
they did their initial route, but they plan on continuing and doing more of a heavy effort on the
Great.
Greenwich Street side by the end of it.
Because it's affecting you guys, right? Critters,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, great.
They breaking the law?
And the street's being torn up, so critters, right? Okay. Terrific. So no formal notice of trespass, great installation of 20 cameras, pest control, reimbursement. Yes, fantastic. Reimbursement for Trinity Church's protection costs, great. You guys happy with that?
Reimbursement is very important to us.
So good. Anything else you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, we were happy to do it and we had offered to put the protection up ourselves. I just think in the course of negotiating the agreement, Trinity was able to get it up quicker, but we've always been willing to reimburse Trinity for the, not only the protection, but the cost to get the protection up and the engagement of the attorneys and marriage.
This all sounds fabulous. And the last point of contact's established. Are we happy? Are we happy? Yes? Okay. One more slide?
Yeah, this is just essentially saying we've reached out to Landmarks in November and we've retained Higgins and Quaysbart to be the main liaison, and they will continue to speak to Deputy General Counsel at LPC as well. So we'll follow all the requirements of LPC. And then DDC, we had met with DDC. We know that they need to make further modifications to their shed in front of Trinity. We had a site meeting with them a week and a half ago, and essentially with our facade contractor to coordinate when they eventually get done on Rector, what it looks like on Trinity between Rector.
Are you guys gonna pay for that shed?
We pay for the shed now, so.
Did you pay for the shed that they had, the new shed they had to put up?
We were the only ones who were able to get the sidewalk shed contractor to show up, so now that we have their contact information, we'll sort out.
How much?
If you give them money, they will show up.
Money. How much more do you have to add on?
I don't know if it's the time to talk about it. First, the question I had, there's an access agreement that's being finalized, huh? Am I correct?
So there's an inspection agreement that's being finalized, as we had talked about. Once the inspection agreement gets finalized, the overall access agreement for the full project will get worked out, as we had talked to the.
Access agreement, we include extending our scaffolding. Instead of 20 feet, 33 feet, to your property, is that correct?
Just extend it another 10 feet? 13ish.
20 is allowed by, we're looking for
By
30.
normal DOB permits.
But now that everybody's talking, you can work this out, right?
So, that would,
These were longer timelines, so
Yeah.
our overall project, which was a longer timeline, we were prepared to work on behalf of DDC to do their extension, because it's a longer timeline as well. But again, right now, the agreement we have with Trinity Church is strictly just to do the inspection. The inspection is gonna drive the timeline for the full project.
so when are we gonna get the access agreement, which is the whole
I
thing?
think probably at the end of March, what we have.
The Trinity folks are here, right? I believe we're agreed on terms, so once we sign the access agreement, we want to get up there to do our inspection work, to be able to figure out what the scope of the project is, prepare any unsafe conditions so we can start to remove protection and get this whole show on the road, but it's all pending on the access agreement. So I know last meeting, there was discussion about Trinity kind of putting this into our court on the sidewalk shed to support DDC. We are happy to include in the access agreement, it's on owner of the building, to be able to get that access agreement to support DDC with the scaffolding. We're in support of it. We're waiting for Trinity to accept that portion of it, the sidewalk shed extension. So I'll put it over to Trinity about when they're gonna sign the access agreement and if they're okay with that.
Yeah, we're aware.
with DDC.
We're aware.
Yeah.
Right, we appreciate that. I mean, it's useful for everyone to really focus on like the agreements that are in play. And yes, with the inspection agreement, it seems like that we're basically there. I think that there's still some questions regarding the emergency access agreement. We're mostly there, but we've been waiting on getting some plans. So we have a better sense as to what the work is. I mean, it's clearly, if you're gonna put up protections.
So it's kind of a catch-22, because they have to get the scope of the work before you.
Well, that's like the fuller work, but just in terms of getting the emergency work done, because there's the emergency work with the parapet, we need to have the information as to what's going on with that project. So you gotta think of it as like the south
But I
wall.
think you need to bifurcate the difference, because there's an emergency scope of work, and then there's the.
Total
wall
scope of
facade.
work. Right. Yeah.
And so,
Right now, it's just the south side, that's the emergency. And everything.
what's the parapet?
Right,
The parapet is the emergency, so that's what we're talking
Right,
about.
so you guys are talking.
Yeah, but we're
That's
talking.
great. So I'm glad you'll work it out. You'll figure it out. Okay, good. And Well, more questions? I'm glad we're all in the same room and we're all talking. That's the main thing. And as neighbors, we hope that you'll keep us informed, the community board informed, so that we kind of know what's going on. And if you need us, like I said, to reach out to the high school and help you in any way with that. Because yes, the kids should take some responsibility, but on the other hand, their brains are not fully formed, as we know, so. But the schools should take some responsibility in having it easy for the kids to get into the building, Does the committee, do you have any questions?
Maybe there's already no information, just so if she might able to. What are the plans for the building to become, what's the?
I mean, they're still trying to work out what the operation of the building will. If it's going to be what was presented a few years ago, or if they're gonna.
Well, a few years ago, it was a British company, they were gonna have all these, I yelled because of course they were talking about all these restaurants, which none of us in the neighborhood could afford, and they were gonna have a gym, and the tower was gonna have office space, and.
So it has nothing, like not even remotely of any affordable housing?
No, it's not housing. No, forget that, Mitch.
No complaint, it might be like
Needed.
We need it, but we weren't getting it from that project.
Okay.
Francis, what was it? Medical facility. A medical facility, we need a medical facility, but I don't think you're getting it in that project either.
Supermarket.
Supermarket, we're not gonna get it there. Mary Ann? Yeah, Mary Ann? Hi. Mary Ann?
She lowered her hand.
Oh, she loaded, okay, Matthew?
Hi, I'd like to follow up on a question that Pat raised and a point that she made. While no reasonable person would dispute that high school kids shouldn't be trespassing and the school should take some responsibility, my question is, and I think Pat alluded to this before, Ron Burkle is one of the richest people in the world. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on this building that has needed to be done since the day his company bought it. Apparently, none of it has been done, which creates a dangerous condition. While we all understand that it's easier to find money to do necessary work when you have an anchor tenant and the math is penciling out better, Ron Burkle is not short of cash. And it sounds like you'd let the building fall down before you were forced to do something unless you were backed into having to do it. So can you explain why the work that everybody agrees, that I think you agree, needs to be done, has needed to be done for the better part of a decade now, but hasn't been done? Why has it not been done, especially given that the owner here has ample resources to get it done?
Let me start with, how long have you guys been on the project?
How long
have you been associated with this project?
I've been associated with this project in different capacities since the acquisition of the building.
Okay, so you might know the answer.
Yeah, I don't know the exact answer to that. I mentioned before the capital markets and the change in the proposed use of the building and the proposed tenants of the building, but I can't comment on.
That's a read.
All right, I mean, it seems like
Sorry, Matthew.
I think that it doesn't really answer your question about the history, right? But we're all here to try and be collaborative and move forward. And the important thing now, we are looking to complete the facade scope as one of the first parts of the project. And the complaints from the neighborhood have been heard, as well as, and we've been discussing with the Department of Buildings, we've been discussing with Landmarks about making sure that our emergency repairs, not just the overall facade project, are done within how they want us to enact those works and to be proper stewards of the building.
That's great, and it is very positive. But to Pat's point about being good neighbors, this is work that has been necessary, again, for more than half a decade. And it's great that you're doing it now, but can you give me a sense, apart from vague allusions to the capital markets, which shouldn't affect somebody with a 10 or 11 figure worth like Ron Burkle, why is the good neighbor stuff starting now? And why hasn't the work that is clear, verging on an emergency, why has that work not been done in all these years?
Like I mentioned, I can't comment on that. I don't have the.
Okay, thanks anyway.
So now, let's keep this relationship going, please. Will you come back after you've gotten the full scope of the work and let us know what's going on? I always ask developers also to give us a phone number in real time, so that if I call you right now and say something fell off the building, someone fell in front of the building, something happened, there's somebody who can answer in real time. Do you have,
People pick up.
we're gonna call you at 2:00 in the morning, but do we have your number?
Yes.
You'll give it
I'll give it
to Zach to make sure that in real time we can contact
Yep.
you. Anything else?
For when they're coming back.
Yeah, we're gonna set a date.
May, right?
After the scope.
You want me to just say May?
It would be a good chance.
Great.
For us to do the inspection and really know.
So you said you're gonna have a presence there watching and, a watch person. How often will they be at the building?
There'll be someone during normal work hours, so from 8 to 4 every day, Monday through Friday. The cleanup will just be, it'll be as needed, but regular cleanup on the site for the, the areas in front of the site and around.
So Greenwich and Trinity.
Will be, twice a month. But again, if it needs to be more, we'll.
You mean outside on Greenwich and Trinity?
Outside in Greenwich.
Okay. And of course, that lane on Greenwich has been, parking is very difficult in our community.
Yes.
And that lane has been taken up for 5, 6, 8, I don't know how, it's been forever. And you can't, so you're gonna just need it until you finish the whole interior and exterior, right?
Right now, I only know about the timeline for the exterior. I do know that we're gonna use it positively to keep the schedule of our project, expedited. But I don't know what the plan is for,
Right.
the future interior.
I'm just asking, I know you don't
And
know.
although it may seem like a hindrance because of the parking, I think there is a benefit for the expediency of when we understand what the full scope of work is and us being able to complete that work quicker, having that access there. Also back to the noise issue in the morning, especially a big complaint that we hear often throughout the city is the idling trucks before 8 a.m., et
Thank you.
cetera.
Thank
With
you.
having that dedicated area for trucks to stage, you won't have those idling trucks because people aren't waiting, they can go and they can park in there.
Yeah.
So I think there are a lot of benefits to it. Obviously, there's some cons to it, right, which we understand, but I think that the benefits are to get the project done as quick as possible and hopefully they can reduce.
At the moment outweigh, yeah, I just have to ask. That's my job. Anything else anybody wants to ask? Are we good?
I have a question regarding the cleanup. I think you mentioned that it's gonna happen twice per month.
But every other week on Friday, but if it becomes more because trash buildup, we will increase it to once a week. We'll do it as needed now that it's a regular project and we want to.
So right now, there's no garbage being developed by the building.
Given the.
No, it's the
condition
exterior garbage.
With the unhoused.
Yes, exactly, because that is our main
So
problem.
the cleanup doesn't mean that there won't be someone that goes around on site every day just to check and make sure. Someone will do the rounds in the morning when they show up to make sure that if there's anyone there, that's just gonna start. I mean, we just really started, we've done all the prep work between August and now to get the project going and, we're considering the project to start, now and so there will just start to do that regular site presence. They'll do their rounds to make sure that the homeless aren't, because I know it's that spot on Trinity.
Yeah, there's a long-standing, large construction debris.
Right, and it's also some barricades.
That's been there.
Yeah, the one on Trinity, they're gonna come, we didn't have a truck big enough to do it earlier.
Okay,
They're
great.
gonna come either this week or early next week to take
That
it.
would also help GDC with all, yeah.
We're
what's
also
all-
gonna close that off between the sidewalk and the lane closure, because right now it's open on Trinity, between the street and sidewalk. We're gonna put fencing up so you can't, get in there. It's just the
Great.
sidewalk is the sidewalk.
Yeah, anything you can do, to make it look better and to keep, unfortunately, homeless people out of that area. But again, we have a shelter right around the corner on Washington, 105 Washington.
Yeah.
And we have contact people for 105 Washington. You can get all that information.
I'll get it from there.
Yeah, as well as, you can call Captain Fisher or Nick Iordano at the precinct. They can give you the information also, but we've had one person there the last 2 weeks that I've noticed. Yeah. All right, if no one else has any other,
DDC does.
oh, yeah, go for it.
They actually want to show a slide,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna bring that up.
Because zoom in, typical engineering plan. So, just to, emphasize, CD, we have,
If you could just
wanna
introduce
point?
yourself again.
yeah, this is Omar Shuri, I'm the resident engineer for, Trinity Place project, we're here on behalf of New York City DEC. So, in that block, we have major sewer work that needs to be, done. Basically, we have a 15-inch combined sewer that's broken completely, not functional. That's in front of 86 Trinity Place, it's 15 feet deep. So the plan calls for replacing that combined sewer and replacing the 3 manholes. One is in the sidewalk, it's for the manhole A. One is near the curb. And there's a third one up north. So in order to do the work, we have to go 15 feet deep. It's near the curb. That's why we reached out to scaffolding company to modify their scaffolding.
They have to move it back.
Yeah, pull it away. Also, we had to ask the scaffolding company to redesign their scaffolding and in some area make it higher with a larger gap to allow us to install sewer manhole on the sidewalk. That's encroaching.
Larger gap between the columns,
Yeah, I think it's,
between the verticals.
it's next page. Next one. Yeah, that's the trench where we're planning to work. Yeah, so you see the larger gap to the left. So this would allow us to install a manhole on the sidewalk with a machine.
Is that area that you showed me that was, yeah?
So we reached out to the scaffolding, they worked with us after multiple back and forth redesign, and we have to pay them obviously. So they came, they started the installation, they modified the sidewalk, the scaffolding until the last piece where we had to extend to
13 feet.
yeah, so we were notified. I wasn't personally aware that we needed an access agreement. I was just thought, okay, we'll extend it a little bit. We're working on the sidewalk. That's the end of the story. But then this the whole access agreement come up. So we tried to get everyone involved. Hopefully now we're talking. But this work is very critical even for your building because we don't have any combined sewer to connect to. Duration take more year and 2.5 years to do the work. Basically, the reason is there's a lot of utilities on top of the sewer that needs to be removed, maintained. When we install the sewer, then we put back the manhole, the connect utilities.
You've got to get Con Ed there.
What's the duration?
A year,
Uh,
year and a half.
A year to a year and a half?
Yes, because everything has to be done manually, and there is a subway.
Right.
We're working next to the
The
subway.
committee should go out with you one day and take a look at how hard it is once they dig up the
If it
street.
was any other borough, we take maybe 3 months maximum. Right? And
We're in the old part of New York, everything is close to the surface. And once they open up, it is
And,
unbelievable how bad it is under there.
Yield, New York.
Yes, yield New York.
And before we start any excavation, MTA will require us to put some
that's right.
devices
Subways there also.
under the panel to make sure there's no vibration and no movement. So it's a lengthy procedure, but
Does this affect any subway service at all?
no, I don't expect it to affect it. Maybe when we go to the
Could it?
tunnel, when we go to the tunnel to install those devices,
Mhm.
they may have to shut it down for like a couple of hours at night. That's why we need to reach out to them, notify them ahead of time, so they can schedule their work. I don't foresee any.
And it's always Con Ed, that's the holdup.
Yeah, no, MTA too sometimes.
They're doing good, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So my concern
I mean,
is,
it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for the MTA to be shut down for anything I was just asking.
No, I don't foresee it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because we went through back and forth with them. They approved all our work after reviewing the drawings or the procedures, everything would be done manually. Because we're literally against the subway wall.
Yeah.
So, again, 1 year, year and a half, that's the thing. Now, the only concern is when we're doing the work, are we, can you do the facade work or who's, huh?
So when we met on site a week and a half ago, our facade contractor spoke to NJM and we're totally coordinated. You can do your work with that and impact for facade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, the three of us were
Yeah,
there.
if you want to show, have a drawing here to show how close the subway is.
And
Next. Sure, this is a subway, this is our trench. That's our sewer.
It's right under the archway, it's above the archway.
That's why we have to do everything carefully, manually. Otherwise it takes a little.
It's on the,
longer.
going toward the Brooklyn side of the archway.
So you
Yeah,
need
it's
your
like-
access agreement with,
So we can
we're
extend it.
gonna, since it's our shed, we're gonna facilitate getting the access agreement to modify the shed in front of our building, because it's all part of the one shed.
But isn't it the 13 feet are
But
in front of Trinity?
It'll be we'll facilitate it in our access agreement with 76 Trinity when we get to that point. It's a part of the agreements. We're nearly there. We haven't.
Just as long as you guys are talking, we don't need to be involved.
Yep.
We only get involved if there's an issue.
Yep.
So as long as everybody is communicating and everybody's happy, we're happy. And as long as I know that they will start only after 8 o'clock in the morning and we won't have to deal with noise and I don't have to yelling beforehand, I'm happy.
In her
As long as-
pajamas.
Yeah, and as long as it's gonna be clean and lighting is gonna be great, we're fine. We're okay, and we're gonna get a number to contact you in case there is an issue. So is there anything else we need to say?
I just have one other
for
additional
it.
question regarding the shed that is up in front of the 109 Greenwich entrance. There's a shed. Yeah.
Isn't it called a scaffolding?
Can you explain what the status of that shed is in terms of the lighting?
And I thought there was still
Posted sign.
So there's one LED strip there, which we, again, understanding that we were going in front of the building for best. So we were cut from the shed that matched, yes. So right now that the parapet's up, which is just the mesh on top of the shed, we're also working with Arsenal, who are the same scaffolding contract you guys have for the protection on 85. We're just waiting for them to get the signage back. I talked with Arsenal today or yesterday since the holiday we spoke, but they said they were gonna try and come out Friday. If there was any specific things for business signage, we were gonna follow up with that. We just wanted to understand timing from our folks first.
So they have logo files
That
and
was
whatever
what we
that
were
is.
gonna reach out to.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do the regular permit signage up that you see, but then if there's specific logo that you need for your business, we'll also put that on there as well and facilitate the filing.
And we'll give it the light tied in, so that.
So the light is tied in as of like a week.
So it's actually.
It's working now.
Okay, great.
And again, now that someone's there every day, they'll continue to check. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good, yeah, good. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for taking your time. Oh,
Would Jesse be able to answer that?
oh, about what?
About what he was asking about the shed and the light?
I don't know. I didn't totally hear it because we were talking, I'm sorry.
I think it's satisfying.
Okay.
The answer was satisfactory.
Okay. Oh, I'll
Thank
go
you.
back and listen to the tape. Good? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So in a couple of months, after May,
Yeah, and we'll be in touch once we get a little bit of a firmer schedule, lined up, and we can reach out and send you guys an update, and then I think we can, depending on where we're at in the project, we can decide, but if not, we'll come back in May, but maybe we don't need to come back in May, maybe it's earlier, maybe it's later, but we'll be in.
yeah, as long as you
Contact.
touch, that's the main thing. There's no crane involved at this point, right? Fantastic, good. Yay, you're not closing our street down.
No.
All right, there are many times I've walked out of the building and the street has been closed because the crane has arrived for some construction site without letting us know, and I've had to yell.
In her pajamas.
Hmm?
In her pajamas.
Not necessarily, sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Sure.
Depends on what time of day it is.
No.
Thank you.
Only
You guys
this year.
okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Looking forward to the agreement. Once that gets taken care of, we'll go a bit better, but we're moving.
Okay, that's the main thing. If there's a line of communication, which is fantastic. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you
We
very
appreciate
you
it.
coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so we have one more thing on the agenda. Jesse, oh, I forgot. Jesse, you still there? You okay?
Yep, I'm still around.
I didn't ask, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Oh no, yeah, if there's any, I'll just be looking for any follow-up, but no, I didn't have any questions that weren't already answered.
Great. Thank you, Jesse, for staying and for the presentation.
No problem.
All right, so we're gonna move on.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Have a good
Thank
night.
Thanks so much.
She's here, but she's in the back, so
Who's
I
here?
think
Julia,
we can move on to the last
number
item.
4.
We can go to 5. And then we'll do her.
Oh, Julia's here?
Yeah, she's over, she's in the office. She's
She ready?
She's doing things.
yeah, do you wanna go now or do you want us to do the next one?
You ready?
You wanna go now or do we?
Thank you.
I'll see you.
Bring you somebody else. Okay. We're gonna do some work in soon.
Oh, Con Ed on Cedar Street?
So what are we doing
Let
next?
me know.
We're gonna stay in order. Okay.
So, number 4. Well, I've gone out to Con Ed on Cedar Street.
Is she,
Corner,
on her way? She's ready, she's ready.
the corner of Cedar and Greenwich. Yeah, I've gone out there at night and talked to
Hey,
them.
Julia.
Good night, thank you.
Good night, thanks. So you want to introduce, tell everybody who you are.
Hi, Julia. I'm a community planning fellow, working for Community Board One.
Well, you have to speak in
New York City. Oh.
You want to sit here?
As long as you
easier
can,
for you.
Oh.
as long as you make way into this device,
Yeah. Yeah.
we won't bite, speak in.
I'm Julia. I'm currently a community planning fellow working for Manhattan Community Board One, and currently my project is creating a 301 complaint dashboard that is automatically updated mostly every day and easy to navigate
Julie, hold on.
for the public.
So we didn't get anybody from 311 to come, did we, Zach?
No,
Oh, they wouldn't come?
to not get anyone.
I had asked, remember years ago when we had someone from 311 come? Yeah, all right, so I had asked that we get somebody else from 311 to come in and talk to us, but
That was a fruitless, discussion when they came.
it was a fruitless discussion, which is why I wanted them to come back all these years later. But anyway, okay, go ahead, Joe.
So, some of you might remember we had a fellow from Pace University over the summer. And she was able to connect 311 to database, but was not able to get a visualization software that was affordable to a community board. So Julia has picked that up and has moved the ball forward. So yeah, Julia, go ahead and take it away. Yeah, the big one should work.
So for this slide, I would just briefly introduce what we have right now for this dashboard. The first thing is a homepage where you'll see the general map of each complaint that are located in the specific location, and you can filter it with date range. It's automatically filtered by the past half year, but you can always change. And you can filter by agency and complaint type. On the bottom left, you'll see the summarize of the current situation. The top one, vendor enforcement, is the top complaint type so far. And NYPD has the most complaints within that whole data set. And also the total complaint in the past 6 months is 11K. And the second page, you will see a more like detailed information of what kind of agency you can find out in this data set. And we also have a table that filter the top complaints, which now it's total 10 top complaint. And then more detailed table telling you what specifically include like information included in each specific complaint that you can navigate. You can also filter by date, by address, by agency, and by specific complaint type. And on the third page, you will see a more dive-in filtered complaint type, which now filtered by the top 20. It's selective. And then by that, you will also see a trend of each complaint type, like from the 2020 to 2026, you will see how it changed over the years and over months. And beneath are the stacking chart of each specific descriptor. So under each complaint type, there's more specified descriptor for a more specified issue, which you will also see on the top of the table.
What's the peak?
What's that peak?
Yeah, that's the next thing. I'm going to walk you through the dashboard.
Oh, okay.
That's sorry, I think I updated that. Anyways, you go to where you can find the dashboard is you go to the website. You go to the website.
So this was updated about an hour and a half ago. I put
Let me
this
just-
on the site.
Has everybody gone to our new website? This is what our new website looks like.
That's a new website. And then under resource, you will see this 311 complaint data. Get into that.
What platform did you say you're using? Power BI.
So this is the first page I just showed. You will see this automatically filtered by the past 6 months. And let's say you're curious about NYPD. And you can also search. And we click that. You will see all the dots, all the complaints on the map about NYPD. And because you filter.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Are these complaints to NYPD or are these complaints about NYPD?
To NYPD.
Okay.
And about legal, right, and to complaint to NYPD, right now, it's like, because I didn't filter was complaint type, so it's all complaints that's to NYPD. And you now see, because you select NYPD, it's filtered to, like, you now see the illegal parking is probably the top complaint type to NYPD. So you wanna see where is those illegal parking things going on. And by having.
I should just narrow the date range a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
This is only over the last 6 months.
Yeah, but you can always change that date. It's till like 2019, I think. And let's say just past 2 months. The filters look at me, but okay, yeah. Sometimes you have to double click so that you can see more detail.
So in 1 month, that's the.
This
Past month.
is for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the parking complaint.
January,
Yeah.
January.
483.
Wow.
And let's say I'm
Those
interested.
were all made by Pat.
Let's say we're interested in Broadway. You can also search. If you have a specific street in mind, you can always try to search, see if there's complaint around that area.
Wow.
And now you see 49. And now you have something specific in mind. You might want to see more specific detail. So we can go to look up by address. You now know I want to see Broadway. And also change the dates. So, but you will see NYPD is not the top thing, but you still want to focus on NYPD right now.
Good, oh,
And you will just see there's like 93. And within the 93 total complaint to NYPD, you also see illegal parking is 49, which align with the previous result you see. And for this one, you can scroll and you will be able to see resolution description. Right now, luckily, every cases are closed, so it's closed, but
They were somewhat resolved.
yeah, but like if you jump into illegal parking, the description is mostly about saying there's no crime violation upon their arrival, so yeah, you will just see how they kind of resolve the issue. And basically they're very similar for this illegal parking issue. And so like, but among descriptor, there's very different descriptor about each illegal parking issue. So maybe you're interested in the descriptor then.
I
So
would think it would be placard parking,
What?
I would just assume that it would be placard parking, so,
black parking.
you know, it's, that's also fruitless because they're not gonna police their own.
It's a
Well,
good
another
question.
there's no parking.
I don't know if placard
people-
parking is
It's probably not, it's-
a
It's separated out.
descriptor.
So I would think most of the people complaining, that seems to be
Illegal parking.
most of the probably.
Maybe, but they're not separating it out. But what was that peak? On the first chart, what was that peak?
You mean the one on the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Okay, this will be, let's deselect it. If we, that big, you probably need to zoom out to very far away. Okay, I mean,
So that was back in 22?
you have to include every year so that you'll see the general change. Let's just stop here. Stuff.
I missed what the colors,
This color?
yeah, I mean, the-
The colors mean?
yeah,
Those are different descriptors,
oh,
so those are different problems.
oh.
So if you hover over them, you can see.
There was a legend, see it there?
It's
hard to read.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so it's mostly just at like, each like complaint, every complaint added on for each month without, specifically filter it out, it will be just every to every
Different
agency.
amounts of
Yeah. So it's just like sometimes you get more complaint at some point. It's mostly, I can say maybe mid of the year, you will have more complaints.
Yeah, a little seasonal down,
I was gonna say-
lower in the winter and then.
A little warmer
picks up.
weather,
Yeah.
get a.
So it's all complaints smashed together, it wasn't anything specific.
So if you just filter it back, it's just, yeah, everything. So you just only see this complaint count, which is everything altogether. But like, if you have illegal parking, then you will see it's like decreasing so far.
It looks like it's decreasing, right?
Yeah,
Right.
if you go back to the full year, it's probably a different thing. So it's like, it's always
Yeah.
it's increasing, decreasing, it's,
Flip that.
but right now it's actually decreasing.
That's because it's snowing and nobody's anywhere.
So that-
Probably-
so that line is-
Enforcement
I
results.
see.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But in any time,
Snow.
posted parking sign violation is always the top complaint descriptor. Just like within illegal parking, people always complaining.
I thought noise would be the biggest complaint. And it wasn't.
Well, noise is probably under another.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's giving
Noise is
oh, eight.
DEP.
Let's say.
Yeah, and
there's
noise is fairly high
I was
as
just
well.
saying,
Noisy beyond.
What department are you, is this then?
And they have it broken up, commercial, helicopter, residential, sidewalk.
There's a lot of subdivision of noise.
Commercial,
Do I see
residential.
construction?
Where's the street?
Yeah, there should
sidewalk,
be noise
vehicle.
construction.
Noise construction or.
That's commercial.
Street,
called
no,
commercial,
street
but
sidewalk.
Where's the construction?
But when they came up,
Vehicle.
one of the quagmires about, it's like, when I tried to call up about a noise complaint years ago about the Free Theater, and 3 people wouldn't take the complaint because it's, well, it's not a restaurant, it's a theater, like, instead of it's just a noise complaint, and that's something that if 311 ever comes to be addressed, then a noise complaint could be a noise complaint.
I told Zach, it's like unless they had like an exact address, they wouldn't.
No, they had an address, but because it wasn't a restaurant, it wasn't, well, it's a theater, well, they're outside, well, then it doesn't count.
That must have been a while.
Right, but I'm saying, I mean, and they've been better neighbors the last couple of years, but that was one red tape that 3 of the operators wouldn't take the complaint, and and finally the 4th one took it. And that's something that maybe could be addressed sometime.
Well, it would be nice if we could get everyone back in here again to discuss with them the issues we had, because I told you, I was telling Julia, I was telling Zach, the other problem with 311 is that at one point, remember, if you were like in the middle of 9 West, you know, the highway, and you had a homeless person there and you were trying to call it in because you didn't have an exact address, they wouldn't take the 311 complaint, remember? There were some other issues that we had. We had a 311 operator here. How long ago was that? It must have been like,
Before the pandemic.
yeah, like 8 years maybe ago.
I had something similar. There's sort of like a big rat, but it was like in between, it was like,
Big was the rat.
I remember it. It was like, but it was by the federal houses, but I didn't have the exact address because it was like a kind of in between. So it's like, how do you, I don't know the address. I think there was some problem getting, I don't know, they mentioned it at one of the meetings, like, oh, if we don't have an exact address, I think they took
They
it.
only came one time. They were supposed to come back after they had, you know, taken our issues and talked in a group. They never came back. But anyway, this was when not Noah wasn't here. It was,
Like the rat keeps moving.
Yes,
Diane?
yes. Oh,
No, the other, Diane,
Oh, Diane. It's
all right, so maybe we can put that on the agenda, we'll get 311 in
But
here.
that's a structural issue with, as opposed to like, 311, the way they deal with it, because they're going by certain rules, and that's a structural issue.
But I don't know if they've changed, that's why we'd like to talk to them. Yeah.
So this is live, people can go and check this out. And,
Desi?
okay.
All right, Francis.
All right, Fran Bam.
And how often are you gonna update this?
It's supposed to refresh every day.
Do you have to update it? Does it automatically? update?
Automatically currently.
So it's somehow connected to 311?
Because the previous intern, she had this automatically pull from open data set to store in our
You're
own.
talking like another language, but okay.
Sorry.
As long as it's like
Yeah,
connecting to
it's
something.
connected
Yes.
to 301.
Keep it simple.
You basically developed this whole thing?
Yeah, it's.
I'm also like in Pat's ball.
Built on top of what the previous
First
fellow
one's
had,
been, yeah.
and now we have it available publicly.
Oh,
available.
Go Julia.
That's still amazing. Can I buy stock in you? You could be, some companies.
So is this project complete as far as you're concerned?
We're here because we still need some more feedback on what maybe you still wanna see on this dashboard, or potentially if there's any other data set you may wanna see in the future. We probably will evaluate if that's suitable for public visualization.
I still wanna see, because it says commercial, but I'd like to know that it's really construction. Because I don't know
Yeah.
what commercial really means.
So there is potentially an option to have a little AI box, and then you can talk directly to the data to a degree. You can say like, oh, how many construction noise complaints have we gotten this week? And it, potentially, haven't really tested that out that much, but potentially it would be able to kick that back out to you on like a very specific chat level.
Still exploring that.
But yeah, that's.
So if I'm looking at this and, cause I'm on Chrome, could I go to, what's the?
The Gemini thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gemini.
It's not gonna have access to the
AI.
data. It won't have access to the data, but it could potentially help you navigate it. And if you tell it it's 311 complaint data, then it could maybe figure out, complaint types and stuff like that to help you navigate. Cause
Right, based
the
on
data-
what I'm looking at,
Yeah.
it can only do,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not trained on this visualization because it just went up, today.
Will it get?
I actually don't know how, I mean, it knows what Power BI is and how to like navigate Power BI visualizations, so it potentially could be helpful.
Can you maybe teach itself?
I just like to say that like we are pushing some of that stuff down. So it's not gonna train on.
It won't train.
It won't train on this, but it already knows what Power BI is.
Right, but that's what I mean, like they are pushing the other companies, like information and data down specifically for the AI.
Yeah, Power BI
Maybe.
has their own like a chat box saying like AI, but it's really rough so far. As far as I know, it's really rough, and also it's not necessarily available for updated data sets. Sometimes some of the function might be restricted because this data dashboard is refreshing daily. That will not be
So
available.
it's not existing stagnant data that it's.
Right, so,
able to pull up. It's
I mean, it's still
fresh
like
data.
You guys are talking about.
under exploration.
Diane, do you know what's going on?
No, I can't even work my phone, so no.
I kinda understand, but I don't.
I feel like it's a foreign language being spoken. Sorry.
Alright, so, was that it?
Yeah,
So what you want is feedback on whether we wanna break out in different categories.
Yeah, there's certain things that you would be interested in.
yeah, they're gonna use it first.
Yeah, so you'll
They're
use
gonna
it.
Use it first, then I'll get back to you.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
looking at it now, when I go through it.
Yeah, I don't think she wants tonight, but.
No, well,
Ultimately, that's what you like.
Yeah, they all have my contacts.
Okay, yeah, just send email.
it looks, I like, it's easy to navigate right now, especially I can do it.
What kinds of things could we be using it for? Like, what could be the benefit?
So, I mean, you could, look at what kind of complaints are in your area. You could look at what complaints are trending up.
Work quality.
Let's say.
For licensing, if they come to me and they, they wanna
Okay.
open up a
So-
spot and, I
Is
can
there
look on
something-
here and see. I don't know, I haven't looked, that's something that I can process and see.
So
But,
that's-
I could go on and see in terms of their noise, in that area, and what kind of noise, is it car noise, the chauffeur stuff, the black cars, right?
Well, not only that, what else would you want to know about in terms of restaurants and licensing? Like what other kinds of complaints? Dirt, garbage pickup, things like that?
Yeah.
Are those on there?
Because there's sanitation, that's.
So no, it's a good question. I don't.
Cause that's
We
private carding also.
Could be able to add like a direct address search, right?
That's there.
Can you do?
I saw
That's like
I saw
only-
sanitation.
Only if the address is what is
private
recorded
carding.
in the data set. You
Okay.
cannot create whatever that is not there.
So you could do like, I don't know.
That's probably not for NYPD. If you just.
Would you go to Cedar Street, please?
I don't know why it's deselected. Is it the
Yeah,
other page?
that's something.
Are you on it now?
Hmm?
Were you looking at it on your phone?
So then maybe
Oh, wait, how
task
did
could
you,
be that we
how did you
review
find it?
this and then
Go
come
and
back
get
with
on the website,
recommendations.
Community board website?
Pardon me,
CB1 website.
Pardon me, So we can come back with recommendations on what data sets we are interested in, what splits of the data that we're interested in seeing. I
Good
think that
idea.
could be an
Next
action
one.
item.
What's an address?
233.
And he's got that.
There's no such data. I mean, like probably in the past several, maybe you see the full.
Or 250 Broadway, 250 Broadway would have MIPD, because that's where the one read is that used to get posted to.
Yeah.
It's not that flexible. I mean, like, you can only search those addresses recorded in that data set, otherwise you cannot search.
The cannabis shops.
That's true. Somebody complain.
Alright, so what?
So what do you click on, the community board website?
I guess.
Website.
So
You got,
we also have the option of adding other data that is not 311 data. So any kind of data that is open data
What else would that?
is available. So,
Maybe like schools?
I don't know what you would look for schools.
I'm talking about adding data, complaint data?
Doesn't have to
It
be
doesn't
complete
be
data.
complete
It could be
data.
any data that the city generates. So
So
if
we
you
could
wanted
put
to
like,
look at,
where's location of shelters?
Shelters?
click on,
if it's publicly
Projects?
available,
No, not
then you could find, then it could be entered into a visualization. So like off the top of my head is like crime, right? Where and when were crimes committed, right?
That isn't part of.
But what
This
kind
this
of-
is complaint data. This is, you would need, crime data would come from NYPD.
And that's available?
I think there's some degree of it available. I'm not sure.
Because
Because, you know, every month.
for some of the data, they don't have enough information to be put on, for example, map. You cannot see those dots, they don't have location. So it's probably not that useful, comparing to like that mapping.
They can probably get a generalized understanding of like where there's certain types of crimes happening.
Yeah, and
how many?
and if it's broken down by community board, then, you know, maybe you just don't have the map visualization, but you have other visualizations.
So like every month at the, new, council, police council meeting, they give us, you know, updates on how many murders, how many rapes, how many this, how many that. Where are they getting that information?
That's the NYPD, so right.
And so is that a week, do we have access to that?
They,
For the stuff that can be shared publicly, they have to make that available.
so generally, there's what's called disclosure bills, and the city council will require different agencies to do a reporting disclosure.
Right.
So they tell they've told at some point NYPD that they have to do a certain level of, and cadence of disclosure, right?
So you can put that on there?
So that is a possibility. So if that's something they're interested in, that's something.
I don't know, I'm just
We can
asking.
explore. I know another one that's very geographically specific is car accidents and car crashes. Like where they are, how severe they are. That can all be mapped and shown in the district, and you could say how many car crashes were this month.
So years ago, when LMCCC existed, we used to get the construction data. Remember, we used to get where construction was going on. You weren't around, but yeah. So is that something that could go on
I
there?
don't know what that is, what specifically you're asking.
They would tell us every every site that was under construction, where something new was being either renovated or newly built.
I think that's something that can be investigated. So the ask is, can you check to see if construction, so this would have to be public construction probably more so than like government construction, I would guess. Is maybe publicly available, not necessarily like,
I don't know.
or they can pull from, I think it's like bid or whatever, that like the, where like permits are submitted. So maybe that's something to investigate. Are you telling all the committees about this essentially? Because it probably would be useful to the other committees. So like the accident stuff, transportation would be interesting.
Yeah.
Park stuff, I'm sure, would be good to pull. So maybe just like a 5-minute demo for each committee over the next month. I think that would inform what's.
But you're gonna do this for.
I was gonna do some announcement at full board.
I was supposed to say maybe just do the full
You're not
board
gonna do
next week.
it for each committee or do it at exec then, please?
Just mention it exists.
Maybe that is a.
I don't,
Which is
I
tomorrow.
don't want her to have to come to every committee meeting.
Not
Yeah,
just at
maybe
the
it's
full board.
Oh, she's not available tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
Will
you
we have
do,
exec tomorrow?
Yeah.
you can do
That's
the
that.
2-minute version.
Oh, that's right, I won't be
Think
there.
about it.
I can do the summary at whatever
Somebody has
meetings
to-
I'm at, and I'm at exec. Yes.
All right, somebody from this committee has to represent us at exec tomorrow.
I'll be here.
Is Mariama still online?
She might.
Mariama, you remember Mariama?
I'll be here, but I'll be late. If you want to.
It would only be at the end of the meeting that they, you know, she might ask what.
You don't want to
topic-
do full board, couple of minutes, full board?
Mariama Scott?
No.
If you want to.
Like tomorrow?
No,
Next week. Then everybody sees you.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But I would make it really
Nice.
short.
Tuesday.
I mean, this is,
Like Francis is spoke now.
no, yeah,
we-
no,
10 minutes.
I want information, but not necessarily complaints. I wanna know how many liquor licenses are in the.
Well, that's
city
what,
council. I
what
wanna-
else can we put on?
You know, I want
Yeah.
other kinds of detailed information.
Come with your wish list, and
Right.
then y'all can investigate.
So let's move on. So next month, if whoever's interested, come. with
Thank
the
you,
wish
Julia.
list. We'll give it to
Will
Julia.
you send us a reminder, a day or two before next
Come
month's
with your
meeting?
wish list. Wish list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Francis, you might want to know, like, if something's come up for renewal, if there have been any complaints, about the
Well,
establishment.
they have,
Yeah.
yeah, she has that already, but it's not
Easily
accessible
Wow.
for the, the general public. Would be interesting for them to go online and see if a certain liquor place was being up for renewal and if there were any complaints.
Yeah, I think that's one that we'll drill down on and see if we can figure out a way to, we just type in the address of the bar and see how many noise complaints.
And my
there are.
wish list is if we can come up with a construction. And I don't know if it's
So
possible.
that, so Jesse said that new scaffolding permits, that information will be given to us.
But that's scaffolding and not new construction. Either renovation or new total construction, I'd like. No.
Typically, what I would recommend
Some of that
is
does exist.
capturing the transcript after this meeting is posted, and then you can have Gemini summarize, and it'll say what things we have already got out there for recommendations, and then again, we can come back with additional wish lists.
Okay, so next month,
And just to be fair, a lot of this might be outside of the scope of her work, but just like maybe like going forward, as we keep sort of building
I
on
think,
this.
I think that Julie should stay here 24/7. This information.
Now we have.
We would love that.
Resolution, which might take discussion.
Yeah, so it's, Julia, thank you. Welcome also, but thank you. Hope you're having a good time learning on this.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so the last thing. Can we get out of here? What's the last thing on our agenda? It is the resolution.
We passed
Oh, we talked about the 100 feet or 50 feet or 10 feet, place of worship. So Julie Menon, right, it's been this new legislation?
Yeah.
New, should everybody get it?
It's just one page, anyone, okay.
Oh,
Can I have one more?
you don't have a copy? Oh, do we have another copy?
And then those things, I think it's two different things.
Gentlemen, are there
Oh,
more
is
copies?
there one thing or two things?
What is it? Is one thing or two things?
Oh, I only think I got one thing.
It's the bill.
you didn't get one?
So there's a bill, and then there's our resolution.
Oh,
So
okay,
there's
I
two
missed
things.
something.
Yeah, but you just
It's
need the
the
bill
bill.
right now.
You just need.
Oh, I don't have the, okay, I have the bill, I
No,
don't have
Pat,
the
can you
rest.
pass one else?
Right now,
No, that's the bill.
Yeah, they got plenty of bills.
Can you
Yes,
give
we
one
got
bill
bill.
back to?
Does
Do you
it,
have?
bill?
Sure, that's fine.
That's, oh, wait,
So last month,
oh, that's.
you guys discussed this. briefly, but there was no bill that existed, so the bill now exists. And so if this is something that you wanted to take a position on, it is in existence in writing. So everything that is underlined is in addition to law as proposed.
Is there a draft resolution?
There's not.
Or have we had any instances in this community where there's been some issue with protesting and, you know, that this affects?
I have not heard of any in our district, no.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
there are two
haven't either,
things.
so then
First of all, we need to decide whether we need, I mean, it's already, it's passed, right?
No.
Well, if we want-
This local law takes effect immediately, if it's passed.
Oh.
So we need to decide whether we even want to do anything.
And I have no position because it's nothing's, it hasn't affected me.
Yeah, I'm a little confused about, like, you know, I'm kind of a friend, on number 5, the interference, determined interference means restricting an individual's freedom of movement, but like, in what context,
Sure.
because that's really subject to.
In a
really-
place of religion.
I understand that, but, interference and restricting somebody's freedom of movement could be interpreted like peaceful protest. If somebody says that wasn't peaceful, you know, I don't like to see, you know, the scarf you're wearing, or somebody that's really being violently, or, I mean, in the context of, would they restrict, and you're walking by to go to across the street, to go shopping, and then you're restricted.
I
from
thought
crossing
this
the
had to
street?
do with how far you had to stand away.
Right, but I'm just saying. that I
Right,
don't know.
yeah, I'm saying,
This just defines the terms, but I don't, I'd like to see.
go to 15.
15?
15, and it says 4, that such perimeters must be established and maintained.
It says street, the term, what the street.
On the street. No, page 2.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it was 15 on page 2. It says number 4, that such perimeters must be established and maintained using, at a minimum, police barriers or police line barrier tape. So, I mean, do I see in here, are they proposing a distance?
Yes,
That-
100 foot.
I'm kind of with Francis, where I don't think we have enough information.
I mean,
This one is 100 foot, the state is proposing 25 foot. Some counter arguments that I've seen are, you know, if it's, because these are, private establishments, you know, if there's ever anybody entering, they are, you know, lawfully trespassing, and so they can be
Okay,
removed.
so my issue
That's
is
different.
visually, I need to see, I need to know, we talk about Trinity Church. And I can look at Trinity Church and you can give me the parameters and I can focus on that. We have many different places throughout here, nothing has happened that we have to even go back to begin to assess what it should have been. So that's why I'm stuck.
Well, let's take just a freehand,
There
vote.
was some
Do we want to do anything about this?
I'm no.
I know there was an
This
issue.
has to do with this specific issue. It wasn't in our community, but I'm trying to remember what, so this is alluding to something else that's happened.
Yeah.
It just hasn't happened here.
There were 2.
Right,
Well,
so why take a position on something? that hasn't
protesters,
Right,
Yeah.
so then your question, Pat, is, do we want to vote on this since we don't have the.
well, not vote, write a
Or-
resolution. on
Right,
it,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
a resolution.
And not necessarily because it hasn't happened here, because we
There's-
comment on anything.
You're asking for a straw poll vote
Right.
of, do we want to do a resolution? It sounds like no, because I'm seeing at least 3 people, maybe no, I don't know who's left
Well,
online.
no one's enthusiastically saying yes, so.
I mean, some of, you know, if there's a problem at any church or synagogue or mosque, I would want the police to take care of it.
Right.
But to make a blanket, yeah, I'm kind of with Francis, I'm saying, I wouldn't have enough information to, as far as the good.
Well, I'm not sure how much information you need, 100 feet, 100 feet, 25 feet, 25 feet, 50.
But if it's a huge space, 100 feet means nothing. If it's a tiny space,
But it's
it's
still
different
100
parameters.
feet away
I-
from the front entrance.
I don't have I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily matters how big it is in terms of, I don't know if proximity necessarily matters. Is 100 feet away from the front we're talking about 100 feet away from the front where people can enter, right?
Here, 100
Right.
feet from each such entrance and exit.
Right. So I'm not sure if that necessarily matters. I think where it starts getting a little muddy for me is when we start talking about intimidation. Because intimidation can be relative. If I'm wearing a hijab, if I'm wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, if I'm wearing something that could be deemed intimidating, then am I violating this? Is it 100 feet and also you can't wear anything intimidating?
To support what you're just saying,
Mhm.
it's just, I mean, but I'm a sports fan, so at the NBA All-Star game, whether you like him or not, Spike Lee attended the game, and he happened to be having like a purse, like a man's purse, with what appeared to be colors in support of the, Palestinian, like not genocide, forgetting about what side you're in, and there were people that were attacking him, that he was, and that they felt threatened because.
Right, because he had on a purse.
How they threatened.
No,
No, that's the point. That's the point.
They were attacking him because there
was
an Israeli player
Who had been in the IDF, and he was
well,
playing.
everybody in Israel was.
Right, but-
Everybody
but
in
he was
Israel.
playing in the game, so they thought that he was
Sorry.
intentionally attacking him, so.
What, did he have his name on it?
Right.
I'm not defending him, I'm saying, I'm supporting what she's saying.
Right.
It was
Right.
Exactly.
It's subjective.
Yeah.
So
Right, so-
I'm saying
I don't think that.
I thought what we were gonna read was 100 feet.
Right.
Now it's 2
Right.
pages of 100 feet
Plus
and interference,
We also have what happened
intimidation.
to, what's his name? Don Lemon. So.
Right, exactly.
So do we want
Exactly,
to, do we
because I
want
saw it
to-
from the very beginning, so I'm
Do we want to write a reso or not? Shall we vote?
I'm
All in
a-
favor of writing a reso? All opposed to writing a reso? So that's it. Good night. Meeting's over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you want to cover for tomorrow?
No, so just in case, Alice is running the meeting tomorrow. Just in case at the end of the meeting, she says, do we have any, an update? Or do we have, and a lot of times, she will ask if there's gonna be anything controversial. We don't have anything controversial.